Phantom debt in the form of buy now, pay later loans, and criminals stealing EV charging station copper. Today, I read an article on CNBC.com written by Anna Teresa Sola titled 25% of consumers recently used a buy now, pay later loan, report finds. What to know as they become popular. The author of this article referenced NerdWallet as saying, buy now, pay later plans are the second most used form of credit payment among U.S. consumers. Well, my friends, I hope people are using these buy now, pay later loans responsibly. I worry about some American consumers who are kicking the can down the road. At some point, all of this debt comes due. A guy I know kicked the can down the road with his debt for years. He even had a large Microsoft Excel spreadsheet to keep track of his various forms of debt. He played the game of transferring money to get introductory 0% rates. I always thought it was a disaster waiting to happen. I'm going to share a comment that someone made beneath the video that I posted yesterday. This person said, if credit cards did not exist, can you imagine how much labor strife there would be? Credit cards serve an important safety valve for failing neoliberal capitalism. This comment really resonated with me. There are a lot of people who are able to maintain their standard of living because of various forms of credit, not just credit cards. If credit didn't exist, there probably would be a lot of workers who would be revolting against their employers. Even with easily accessible credit, I'm surprised we haven't seen more of this happening in our society. However, we have been hearing about things such as the Great Resignation, where a lot of people are not satisfied with their work environment, income, or work-life balance. We've also heard about quiet quitting, where people stay at their jobs but do the bare minimum. There is even a new trend called quiet vacationing. For example, remote employees who don't want to take all of their personal time off just find a way to take the time off that they want, but pretend as though they are still working. In a way, all of these trends could be seen as a way that employees show their dissatisfaction with either their work environment, income, or work-life balance. I'm sure as AI advances, there will be all types of new advanced employee engagement systems that companies will adopt to prevent a lot of this from happening. There are systems out there now that monitor employee engagement, but I am sure they will advance a lot further in the future. Getting back to the article about buy now, pay later loans, the author referenced the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Americans owe $17.5 trillion across credit cards, mortgages, auto loans, and other forms of debt. About $1.12 trillion of that is on credit cards. Buy now, pay later loans don't appear on credit reports, so they are kind of a phantom debt that is not reflected in those tallies. To me, it is scary that buy now, pay later loans are the second most used form of credit payment among U.S. consumers right now. It is amazing how quickly these spread across our society. I see them just about everywhere now. I have to wonder, how many people are juggling multiple buy now, pay later loans? I also have to wonder, how many people who take out these intend on never paying them back? The author of this article went on to say, some shoppers are turning to buy now, pay later loans to pay for essentials, as items such as groceries remain expensive. The author referred to buy now, pay later loans as a lifeline for many consumers. Here are my thoughts. American consumers shouldn't need a lifeline. If we had a strong economy and employers paid livable wages, Americans could pay cash for what they needed in life. There was a time in the early to mid 20th century when a person, in some cases without a high school education, could get a job at a factory with union protection and earn a livable wage and also get free health care and a lifetime pension. A man could earn enough where his wife could stay home and take care of the children, and he could afford a home in the community where he worked, and he could buy a new car every few years. He didn't need to rely on credit cards, buy now, pay later loans, or payday loans to afford essentials in life for his family. For the most part, gone are these days. I don't see them ever coming back. Many thriving industrial cities during the early to mid 20th century are now a shadow of their former selves. Some are crumbling and crime-ridden. Look on the bright side. People can live vicariously by watching billionaires buy mega yachts, extended range private jets, and mega mansions. While the middle class is eroding, the super wealthy are getting richer by the second. The divide between the haves and the have-nots is widening in America, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. Now you might be wondering how many people are really carrying credit card debt, and some of you might also be wondering if this is really just being blown out of proportion. Well, the author of this article referenced Bankrate, who revealed that 44% of credit card holders carry balances from month to month, and 56% of card holders who earn $50,000 or less carry a balance, while 37% of card holders who make $100,000 a year or more carry a balance. In either case, I think the percentages are too high, especially during this period of high inflation where credit card interest could be in the low 20% range to as high as the low 30% range for some retail cards. This debt can spiral out of control and leave some people with few options. I think we are on the wrong trajectory here in America, but what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm going to ask you a question. If our economy is booming like we hear in the mainstream media and from politicians, why are thieves stealing copper from EV charging stations? I read an article today on Yahoo Finance, put out by MoneyWise, and written by Jing Pan, titled, "Thieves are stealing copper from EV charging stations. How to profit from copper prices without going to jail." According to the author, as electric vehicle charging stations proliferate across America to boost EV adoption, criminals have found ways to exploit these new installations. The author went on to reference a man from California who arrived at a Tesla supercharging station behind a Target just to find that the cables had been cut from 9 of the charging stations. Did you hear what I said, ladies and gentlemen? 9 charging stations. This is a sad sign of the times here in America. At times, it feels like we are living in some type of Mad Max dystopian reality. I know there has always been crime in America, but there was a time when people in some areas of the country could leave their cars unlocked and leave their doors unlocked at their homes. People dressed nicely and waved at one another while driving around town. People were friendly when they interacted with the clerk at the local grocery store who knew their names. People took pride in their communities and looked out for one another. This is so different from today. Now we have rampant crime, police are often villainized, even locked cars are stolen and in some cases smuggled to other countries in shipping containers. Even people with locked doors and ring cameras have their packages stolen by porch pirates. And there often aren't many local grocery stores with clerks that know your name. There are now supermarkets with self-checkout machines with impatient people who often get pushy and angry. Some people don't have time to take pride in their community or get involved with their community because they are too busy working multiple jobs in this new gig economy. And they often struggle to survive, so they need to rely on credit cards and buy now, pay later loans. Life is really changing here in America. The 21st century is quite different in many ways from the 20th century. Instead of June Cleaver, we now have reality stars to keep up with. Sure, we have iPhones, Netflix, Amazon Prime, self-driving cars, and some people can work from home. But is life really better in the 21st century? I'll let you answer that question in the comment section below. At times, I feel like I'm living in the alternate Biff timeline portrayed in the Back to the Future 2 movie. Doc Brown tried to go to the library to make sense of all the madness, but that place was boarded up. Well, I've seen some majestic Carnegie libraries near me shut down. Some have been turned into bars or coffee shops. It's truly sad because Andrew Carnegie once said a library was the best possible gift for a community, since it gave people the opportunity to improve themselves. Well, many of these amazing buildings no longer function as libraries. Some young people probably have no interest in going to the library anyway because now we have smartphones with apps like TikTok. I'm curious, have you heard of copper thefts in your area? If so, tell me about them in the comment section below. Also, tell me if one of the old Carnegie libraries in your area has been torn down or repurposed. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.